Welcome to Debt Kickin' Sunday, a healthy Debt Kickin' Sunday.
I know, right?
We're still healthy.
That's because I just came off of antibiotics. I'm still good.
But victory for us this week. We are working some serious overtime.
We are working.
Because if you're not here, I'm busting my hump. This is hard.
Yes, we are working overtime.
Is my hair stick up because you're kind of looking at me funny?
I was looking at the mark on the wall over there.
Oh.
You're good.
Yeah, so we're a little wired, we're a little tired.
Wired. Ready to go? Let's get to it.
Okay,
people.
Great questions. We want to give you the majority of the time. So if you're new to our channel, welcome. And if you've been with us for a while, please, we get people leaving us comments saying, I've been with you for the last 3 years, but I have never commented. So comment, guys. We like to meet you. Okay, so first question. Hey, what are your thoughts about using 401k to pay off a car? We haven't taken an FPU class yet, and I'm trying to hunt down a copy of the Total Money Makeover book at my local library. My thinking is using that money to take away a monthly payment would definitely help. Then we could increase our amount slightly, but not so much that it takes away the point of getting rid of the monthly payment that we put into a 401k. So we'd be paying ourselves first, but just wanted to ask my go-to guys. Thanks for the advice. You know what? You cracked me up because this watch it.
Yeah.
Everybody stand back.
Put your seatbelts on.
Do you remember when we were going through this?
Yep.
And I asked the same question.
Yep.
And I was ready for every opposition he was going to throw at me. And I'm like, but this is using our money in a smart way.
And we're paying ourselves.
No, you're not.
No. So here's what it boils down to. Tough love time. We should get our did you see our tough love shirts they shipped?
Do you guys want to relaunch? I did.
I should start wearing my tough love shirt on every one of these.
It's gonna come on T's birthday next week.
Sweet.
I know, happy birthday to us. Do you guys want us to relaunch the tough love shirt? We've had one person order past our closing, but if we get 15 to order, we can relaunch it. So leave a comment down below. Let us know yay or nay on relaunching it.
Squirrel on it. Okay. Tough love. Here it is. If you have that much money left on the car to pay that you're thinking about tapping into the 401k, I mean, if it's like $1,000 to pay off the car, buckle down and pay the $1,000 off. But if you got like a $10,000, $12,000 loan on the car and you're just trying to free up a monthly payment by paying that off, sell the car. Don't ever touch the 401k because the momentum you have in that 401k, you're going to totally stop. Sell the car.
And there's one, you will have to retire at some point.
Yeah.
You don't have to have
the car.
Okay? Remember, we love you.
And it's tough love.
We're being tough with you.
And we have sold everything under the sun at some point, so we realize how hard it is to sell a car. But after we sold all that stuff, we look back and we were like, should have done it a lot sooner because it got us so far. Sell a car.
And do not, we're talking to everybody, do not do anything drastic with your money, like file bankruptcy or tap into your 401k, anything like that until you go through FPU.
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah.
Please take the FPU, Financial Peace University class first. We're not saying don't do any of those things because you're entitled to do whatever you want, but wait until you take the class because chances are it's going to change the way you think about money.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for answering my teenager question. Oh, you already did that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do better planning some snacks into the budget, and I have tape and a Sharpie Velcroed to my refrigerator. Nice. Velcroed to my refrigerator. I did that. So everything is labeled. I do have another teenager question. I hope we're qualified enough.
No.
My oldest two have jobs and have quite a bit of money sitting in the bank in which the oldest pays for her college classes with cash. Yay! The other is saving for college too. It has 2 years left in high school. What would you recommend doing with that money to earn a bit of interest while still being accessible? Or should it sit in a standard savings account? They don't touch it very much. I asked the bank about CDs and they said the interest rate was the same as a savings account. Thanks. That's why we don't recommend CDs.
Yeah. So my question is...
The interest rate on CDs and bonds, it doesn't keep up with inflation.
No. My question is, how much money is it? Are we talking it's $500 sitting there, or are we talking it's $10,000, $12,000?
Right.
It's $500. Leave it in a savings account. It's $10,000, $12,000. Maybe you save $1,500 in a savings account and put the rest in a money market.
Money market. That's what I would do too. Yep. And a money market you can have access to.
Yep.
How awesome!
That's cool that you have kids that have savings.
That is our goal too. I love it. Thanks for the questions. You guys are so awesome. Oh. He just keeps me like a Grinch. I just found your channel and Daddy Dave. Maybe I'll find Jesus along the way too. My husband just lost both jobs at the same time in April.
Ouch.
We have had to file bankruptcy and lose not everything but close. I wish I had found out about all of this debt-free stuff before the job loss. Unemployment runs out for him in a few weeks, and I just started a new job this week after my seasonal job for the summer was over. This summer was hard with just me working. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 5 years prior. Anyway, sorry for unloading. It's all right. You never have to apologize. But could you please say a prayer for our family? I'm reading this out loud because we have some pretty awesome prayer warriors in our YouTube family. And so please, Ellen, keep Ellen and her family in your prayers. We have to downsize and move, and I have my new part-time job that could be permanent soon.
Sweet.
We have our $1,000 emergency fund, but we can't start to pay off student loans until I get a better job. I'm really trying hard, and so is he. Your connection with God is good. That's why I'm asking you. Your videos are not just entertainment to me, although you're both funny, especially together. You're saving marriages. God bless. Thanks for listening.
I think you guys are on the right path. I mean, you realize you have to downsize. You have your emergency fund, so you're good to go there, and you're kicking it. I mean, you're doing the best you can with what you got.
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys.
Yeah. We'll be praying for you.
Definitely will be praying for
Sell
you.
stuff too. If you don't need it, now would be the time.
I was going to say, is there any way that you could take Financial Peace University? Dave Ramsey should really pay us for this because, but seriously, it's the product that we believe in that saved our marriage. Can you guys, okay, here's a challenge for everyone out there that says, I don't have the money for a Financial Peace class. Sell stuff until you get the $99.
I'm sure you have $99 of stuff in the house that you could sell.
Now you have no excuses to not take the class because there you go. If you don't get anything out of this Kickin Sunday.
Alrighty then.
There's our challenge, and let us know. Let us know what you think if you're going to do it. Hey guys, I'm a new subscriber, but I am hooked. That's good. My question is going off of the life insurance question from one of your last videos.
Oh boy.
What is the minimum you'd recommend for a family of 6? My husband currently has $188,000. It's a number times his annual income in life insurance through his job. But lately we've been talking about getting more and also getting our will together finally. Nice. Because of you guys, we are also adding an identity theft insurance as well. Good.
Good.
We believe these things are worth the money. I just have no clue how much life insurance we should have. Is there a formula or is it just a personal preference type thing? Thanks for all you do. You've been a huge blessing in our life.
Well, I'll put it this way. There's 2 answers to that.
Yeah.
There is a formula, and then there's also the other formula of what the wife wants. So there is a formula, but then when you ask her, she's like, that's a great formula and all, but I want more.
He's pretty much worth more dead than alive.
But Dave's principle is
10 times.
Principle is 10 times your annual income. That way, if something happens, your spouse can have that money invested, and the percentage of interest between 8 to 12%, somewhere in there you should probably be getting, should be about equivalent to what your spouse's income was. Therefore, you don't have to touch the principal, and you can have...
He's talking about the interest that you would make
on the life insurance, on investments.
Yeah.
So like if you make $100,000 a year and you had $1 million life insurance policy, if you got 8 to 10%, you get anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 back at the end of the year. You never have to touch the principal. Therefore, you have this money coming in yearly where you don't have to work for it. It just is there.
This life insurance, I'm so glad you asked this because there's so many people out there that could use this information. When we went through Financial Peace University and they had the life insurance lesson on there, that was the biggest sigh of relief in the class.
Yeah. Because
as a stay-at-home mom, I now have YouTube, but still, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I always freaked out, especially buried under so much debt. It kept me up at night worrying if something were to happen to him, how I would manage, how would I survive. And so the goal, we figured on a number that felt good. We got to decide each other's life insurance policies. We talked about it, we prayed about it a lot, but ultimately it was how much do you think you're going to need to replace me? And then we
$25
didn't criticize each other. And that's what our life insurance policy was. And another thing, when you say that your husband has the $188,000 through his employer, we had life insurance policies through his employer. Make sure that you get a term. You want a term life insurance. Because there's so many. Just Google it. Go on Dave Ramsey's website and Google term life insurance or whole life insurance, and he will explain the nuts and bolts.
So the life insurance.
Well, what I was saying,
go ahead.
through your husband's employer, we had to stop and start the camera again, and I was on a roll. I gotta find my roll again. He had life insurance through his employer, and it was a cheaper bet, cheaper all the way around for us to stop paying into all the different insurances we had through his
It was a whole
company.
life, an accidental death and dismemberment. It was all this other extra fluffy.
We needed to simplify, and we went through a different, like MetLife, or you could go through Xander Insurance. We really like Xander Insurance. They're recommended by Dave Ramsey. And anyway, and then we just took out a basic term life insurance, 20-year term.
What I was getting at is with the whole life, the accidental death, all those other things, there are fees, you got to pay for this person, and when you cash it out, you get taxed, and you got to pay that person.
There's so much fine.
Term insurance is you die, the second you get a death certificate, which is usually 48 hours or something after death, that insurance company cuts you a check for that amount, that's it.
Yeah.
So if you got $1 million, they write you a check for $1 million, and that's it. There is no, I got to pay the agent. They got to take out their fees. They got to take out their portion of the taxes. It didn't mature because it didn't get to be past the age of 18, so you don't really get all that money going.
Yeah.
No, it's just a check and you're done.
This is a whole nother, we could talk about life insurance for the whole 30 minutes, but you want term because you don't look at it as a life insurance policy as a savings. You could be saving yourself, investing in yourself, and making more money than a whole life insurance.
Correct.
Okay, so that's just something to think about.
The term insurance is like your auto insurance. It's a check you write every month to cover you, and it just goes out the window into the abyss somewhere. Right. But you're covered on your car. You're covered on. You're not going to get it back on term. It's just insurance that you're paying.
But it's a little amount that you're paying a month.
Correct.
For a big policy. Okay, that's the point.
Tell you, man, I need the tough love shirt because I can just I'm in the groove here.
Every day, Kickin.
Let's go.
Okay, we love our free TV. The kids are napping. So they're not napping now. We made the switch 3 years ago and made our own antenna. Yeah, it's redneck looking, but we the things you do to save money, you know. But we hide it behind a painting, and no one is the wiser. The only issues we have here in Washougal are the trees and the wind, which can mess with our signal during a storm. But otherwise, it's perfect. And I laugh because we don't live very far from you guys, and we have trees and wind.
I know, if it's a really really heavy rainy day, you're flipping the channels, and it's no signal. You just shut the TV off.
Most TVs sold in the last 5 years or so have a built-in antenna, so you won't need an amplifier if you're within a reasonable range of the stations. But the antenna for ours helps us get through stormy nights. $95 a month saved. That's completely worth it. Plus, if you don't get reception, you get quality family time in its place. Which is probably better than having the TV on anyway. Let's see. I remember from past videos you mentioning Emeals. Do you still feel this is a program you'd recommend? What did you like or not like about the program? Thanks. I like this question. There was a lot of good things about Emeals. We did Emeals at our bottom of this plan when we were just starting to work our way up. And it was good for us because we didn't budget for food ever. We just put it on a credit card. And so we had no idea how much we were spending a month or how much we should be spending. And so Emeals broke it into, it's going to be, I don't know what it was, $40 a week or something. It was structured. They give you the shopping list, basically the aisle in the store pretty much, and it was wonderful. We loved it. The thing about Emeals that I didn't like is that you had to make the dinners that were on their plan. With Emeals, you pay a monthly subscription. It's really low. It's worth it. Whatever. I don't remember how much we paid. And then they email it to you every week. So you got your 7 dinners now they do breakfast and lunches too, and snacks or kids' lunches. And they email it to you once a week. You have your shopping list. And it's within your budget, so you know what you're going to be spending, and you have your meals for the week. Now, if you're someone who doesn't cook or doesn't enjoy cooking,
not the program for you.
Or blows your budget, this is good for you because it is the easiest that you will ever get. I mean, really, you cannot make simplifying grocery shopping. You cannot simplify grocery shopping and cooking meals any easier than using this program. But you gotta cook what they, and there's all kinds of like gluten-free, vegetarian. Now they have many more than when we were on the program. And you can also pick your store at Costco, Walmart, Fred Meyer, whatever, wherever you go shopping. So it's awesome. If it's in your budget, it is awesome. Okay, we use envelopes for groceries, gas, and spending, and everything else goes into the joint from our checks. We know how much each check needs to go in to cover all the house costs and everything over. Wait a minute. Separate accounts. Yeah, this is just how she.
This is how she does it.
This is how she does it. Okay, you guys. We use envelopes. So they use envelopes for groceries, gas, and spending, and everything else goes into the joint from our checks. We know how much each check needs to go in to cover all the house costs, and everything over that is what goes on the snowball. Everything is set up with our bank to be an auto pay, and each week I verify things are going out as they should. This is a free service most banks offer, so it also saves on checks. I agree. Our bank offers free monitoring too for ID theft. That's something to look into. I have been able to pay off just over $20,000 in debt since February using this method, and my husband and I are no longer fighting over money and who pays what.
Nice.
Since February? Are you kidding
awesome.
me? That's like 8 months, and you've paid off $20,000. That's
$2,000 a month, yeah.
That is discipline, and it helps if you don't have kids yet. Oh, the things we could do.
All right.
I am a loyal follower. However, my husband every month breaks the budget and puts our bills behind. I have tried everything other than duct taping his hands together. Please give advice. I have no clue how to do this when he constantly blows through our bill money. We also have 6 kids and Christmas coming up. I feel like I'm drowning.
Well, I don't know who does the bills in the family, but maybe you could just tell him every time you use the debit card or every time you use that means that's a bill we're not paying. So if he goes out and buys and does whatever, just say, okay, great, honey, that was nice. Now we can't pay the power bill this month.
Yeah, but like nitpicking and going back and forth, we've done that.
Well, it needs to be an ouchie moment where he realizes, you know what I mean?
What he needs to do is grow up. I mean, you have 6 kids to take care of. Stick to a budget. How does he... I don't know how to answer this one because this is the one that just frustrates me. That's why
Go by cash where you're not using the debit card, I guess, and when you run out, you run out. Blow money wise, I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some women, spouses, men have done this with their spouses, and they get on a cash system and they say, okay, honey, here is your blow money for the next week or 2 weeks. When it's out, it's out. And it actually has worked really well for a lot of people. And because there's some men, I guess, that just don't want to work this plan. I'm not wired like that. I don't get why you wouldn't want to do a plan that's benefiting your family and your future and everything else. But, you know, pull out your cash, do your envelopes, and maybe sit down with your husband. You're going to need to communicate and say, how much do you think you need for this? How much do you think you need for that? Don't give him an option. Say, here's your envelope for that. Write on it what it is, and here's your envelope. You'll get more money, you know, next week or the next week after, until he can be more disciplined. I feel your pain, says your 6 kids. Maybe you have a no Christmas. Maybe you need that for him to wake up, and you're like, honey, there's no money for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is the year that the kids don't get presents. You don't get presents. You just bare minimum. We've done that,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
several years.
We actually really liked it.
It was better Christmas.
It wasn't better. It was simple. We simplified, and I loved it. But anyway, that's just a suggestion too. We are in a bad boat. When I lost both of my jobs in February, we have been really struggling. I found a job at a local hotel. I work 5 days a week, between 20 to 30 hours a week. My husband is totally disabled. He has had open heart surgery. Last year at the age of 40, and will need it again soon. We tried to apply for a Medicaid card for me and one for him. We live in West Virginia and pay rent plus all utilities plus food, etc. We were told that I make $400 too much, which is one paycheck. I am paid every 2 weeks. I have put applications in everywhere but no response. We get around $1,600 a month. Our rent is $475, and this is cheap for my area. Because of the oil and gas people in the area, the rents have gone to $1,000 a month up to $3,000, including cable, etc. Some charge $300 a week per person and sometimes per room. We cannot afford the classes. I can go to the library and take out his books. Any suggestions? Thank you. Okay, so definitely go to the library. Rent The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey to get you started in the right direction. And second, when you said remember our challenge earlier, you can't afford the classes, can you sell something, sister? Look around you. There's got to be something that has a value of $99 that you can sell.
Or a couple somethings.
Couple somethings, and treat yourself. And you need financial peace university right now so bad with the condition that your husband is in. That class would be so beneficial for you. It sounds like you are doing the absolute best that you can do. I don't know what else to tell you.
You got cheap rent. An income issue really, probably, but you're doing what you can. You got a job.
I'm not sure if you have health care right now or if that's your question.
They tried to apply for Medicaid card,
and they were denied because you make $400 too much.
Too much.
Oh.
Which I don't understand because he doesn't have an income at all. So I would think for him he should be able to qualify, but maybe it's household income.
Apply for jobs maybe more full time. Can you get a 40-hour-a-week job with benefits?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe look for that kind of a job and just keep trying until it happens, and pray. I'll be praying for you and your husband. Christmas traditions for us. Okay, so we talked about last week our Christmas traditions. Someone asked, what are your cheap or free family traditions Christmas that you have? So your suggestions, go back and read last weekend's video. The link to last weekend's video is down below, and then read people's comments because I loved seeing your Christmas traditions. So Christmas traditions for us. I don't know if this is the kind of idea that was requested, but on Christmas Eve we have our Christmas Eve feast. I really liked this comment. We have lots of finger foods, cheese cubes, cut up fresh veggies, and fruit with dip. Belly buttons, that's a cute name. My girls would love that. Belly buttons, which is lunch meat spread with cream cheese and a sweet pickle or green onion laid in the middle and rolled up. Yum, I love those. Crackers, cheese ball, and a few cookies. We can't do much sweet stuff as our girls both have food allergies to sugar. The leftovers are then saved and put on the table Christmas morning to be munched on while we open gifts.
Nice.
How come I haven't thought of this? The kids each have a small tree they put in their bedrooms. Many of the ornaments are homemade ornaments they have made themselves. Lots of easy homemade ornament ideas on Pinterest.
Nice.
I just thought it was cool. We should do that. Have munchies the night before and then have something to just
munch on.
Loved it. I'm so happy to hear you all are feeling so much better. Thank you. Josh, I'm a lefty too. I wrote a few weeks ago that hubby and I were looking to be debt-free by the end of October. Well, we had the money to pay the last debt, but the home equity company made us jump through hoops to get our payoff. But finally got it, and as of Monday, November 3rd, the day after our 29th wedding anniversary, we are debt-free except our mortgage.
Nice.
Woohoo! Thank you both so much for your love, encouragement, and heart to want to help others be debt-free too. Christmas, cheap or free traditions we used to do with our kids were making hot chocolate and snuggle on the couch under blankets and watch Christmas specials. We bought an ornament every year for them, so when they moved out, they had some to decorate their tree with. Church productions and rides in the car to look at Christmas lights. Love you guys. I love it. These comments get me so excited for Christmas. Did you know? I scored big time on a faux Christmas tree. It'll be in an upcoming video. He went thrifting with me. He survived. I'll just leave it at that. He survived. When you guys were first starting your baby step 1 and 2 and chose to sell things, how did you decide which things to sell? Besides obvious luxuries, there are more useful luxuries, like kitchen gadgets that make cooking at home much easier, or baby items like a swing or a bouncy seat, which to me are necessities if you want to get anything done, that you may end up repurchasing with another baby later on. I think of the Bible verse that talks about if you have food and clothing to be content. So where did you draw the line? I mean, technically almost everything we have in our houses are luxuries. So were there rules or guidelines on what you got rid of versus what you kept? I know this will be different for everybody, but would like to hear y'all's thoughts on this. Y'all, you're from the South.
We sold everything that wasn't attached to the house.
I went through closets.
I think at one point we actually sold the sofa or couch or whatever. We were sitting on our camp chairs for a couple months.
We wanted out of debt that bad.
But I understand what you're saying. I get that. So, you need to go around your house and be like, I use this 3 times a day. That's an asset.
Right.
I use this once a month, not so much an asset, let's sell it.
And if it has If it's special meaning, like if it's from a grandparent, something special like an old quilt or something from your babies that you got as a gift, those are special. Like you don't sell those. Because you don't, and really think about not selling those, because I've had people that have regretted selling precious items, so don't do that.
But we've had garage sales and cleaned out clothes, cleaned out shoes, cleaned up old camp gear that you never used, or maybe you only use once a year, and you're like, well, the next couple of years we're not going camping because we don't have the money to go camping, so let's get rid of all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's just.
And when you do that, when you have to repurchase, you find the cheapest way possible. And for me, it's thrift shopping.
And when you repurchase, if you have to, you do get better deals, and you realize things you don't need.
Yeah.
So you don't buy you just only buy the necessities, not all the other crap.
That's right. So hopefully that advice helped you a little bit. Question for Deck Kickin Sunday. I'm a paycheck mama and make a nice hourly wage. My hours vary, thus so does my paycheck. My husband, on the other hand, works contract work and has no guarantees of work money. I am attempting to return to FPU. When I was working on my November spending plan, I was a bit lost on how to get started. What I ended up doing was taking the lowest of my checks from the last 3 months and planning all of our bills expenses from that amount.
Perfect.
My husband is planning to use the irregular income worksheet for working further on our debt snowball and for bills from prior to our marriage. Do you think this is a solid plan, or is there something else we should try? Should any wages I earn above that figured in my spending plan then be used towards the irregular income sheet? Thank you for any insight.
I think you're perfect. Use your low income to base your base bills. Use his income to do the debt snowball, and then exactly anything you make on top of that goes to your debt snowball.
Good job, or whatever.
You're on it. I think you're there.
Yeah. Good job. High fives. High fives. Shh.
Really?
Yep. I'm weird like that. Okay. Question. Got any tips here? Or hold it, girl. Are you laughing at me?
No.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
No.
Got any tips on using only 5 envelopes per month? Week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which count as an emergency fund when the 5th week isn't during a month. I'm shaking up my budget this month and I'm paying all my bills online like usual, but all extra cash I'm splitting between the envelopes. But what I've done so far looks like week 1 has the most cash. I also have a 6th envelope and 10% off of massages I do. Oh, you're a massage therapist. I'm like, massages? I want that to be in my budget. You need to live closer to us. I also have a 6th envelope and 10% off of massages I do goes towards that to give away.
I'm not getting what she's saying.
Well,
so she takes her money and equally divides it into 4 envelopes, and that's what she uses to pay everything?
Yeah. So instead of like divvying up like our gas, food, groceries, am I right? Hold on, let me know. She does it into 1, 2, 3, 4. And then some months that have 5.
Because some months have a 5th week.
Right.
I don't know.
So she's taking everything that we spend weekly, gas, groceries, she's putting it into 1 envelope to simplify. Okay? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So
I'm assuming all the bills are still paid online or checks, and this is just your extra living expenses. Right. But I think anything you do that's envelope related that works for you. If you have an internal system that works for you and you're like, I got this on the 5 envelopes, that's awesome. Yeah. You do it, whatever works.
Yeah. Could you please give the name of the product you use for your free TV, and I'm wondering what you do for your internet access. Internet's
just our local co-op company, and the antenna is through Costco. It's the only it's not an external antenna, it's an internal antenna for inside the house. It is the only one they have on their website. So if you go to their website, just type in TV antenna, it's the only one they have. That's it.
I like it.
Wrap it up, kid.
So thank you guys for, if you couldn't get to your question, thank you for leaving questions. He just beatbox. He just beatbox. I don't know. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Let us know if we didn't get to your question, and just please re-ask. I don't even know what to do. Oh! Can you tell he's feeling better? This is actually good to see. Okay. We gotta sign off before something happens. And we'll see you guys next week. Look for my thrifting, my hot thrifting haul video.
Yes! Thrifting!
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.